Picture this. You say something in a group. It lands wrong. Nobody reacts badly, but for the next 3 days, you replay it on loop. You edit your words, rewrite the moment, imagine every possible version of what they must think of you. Meanwhile, they forgot it happened the second you finished talking. Sound familiar? You're not alone. And more importantly, you're not weak. You're not too sensitive. You're not broken. Your brain is just running a program it learned a very long time ago. And today, we're going to rewrite it. Why this happens. Here's the truth. There's a tiny region deep inside your brain called the amygdala. Think of it like your brain's alarm system. Its one job is to keep you safe. And for thousands of years, being accepted by your social group wasn't just nice to have, it was survival. If your tribe rejected you, you didn't eat, you didn't have shelter, you died. So your brain learned to treat social judgment the same way it treats physical danger. A disapproving look, an awkward silence, someone scrolling their phone while you're talking. Your amygdala fires the same warning signal as if a predator just walked into the room. The problem? We're no longer living in tribes, but your brain didn't get the update. That fear you feel before posting something online, that voice that replays your words after a conversation, that hesitation before sharing your opinion in a room full of people, that's not weakness. That's an ancient system doing exactly what it was built to do, just in the wrong century. And here's the thing. You can't just tell yourself to stop caring. Willpower doesn't work on survival instincts. What you need is to rewire the system from the inside. And that's exactly what these 5 steps will do. Step 1. Name the voice. The next time you catch yourself spiraling, obsessing over what someone thinks, replaying a moment, shrinking before you even speak, stop and name what's happening. Say it out loud or in your head. That's my amygdala. That's the alarm going off. This sounds too simple, but neuroscience calls it affect labeling. When you name an emotion or a fear, activity in your amygdala actually decreases. You move processing from the reactive part of your brain to the rational part. You go from passenger to driver. You're not suppressing the feeling. You're just refusing to let it steer. Step 2. Reality check the audience. Here's something that will genuinely change how you see social situations. It's called the spotlight effect. Psychologists discovered that we consistently overestimate how much other people notice us, judge us, and remember what we do. Think about the last time you had a bad hair day. You probably felt like everyone was staring. But were they? People are too busy living inside their own heads, worrying about their own hair, their own words, their own awkward moments, to spend much time thinking about yours. The audience you're performing for, most of the time, it doesn't exist. The harshest critic in the room is always you. Step 3. Separate feedback from identity. Not all opinions are equal, and this is where most people get it wrong. When someone criticizes your idea, your work, or your choice, your brain instantly translates it into a statement about who you are as a person. That's the trap. Here's the shift. Feedback is information. Identity is who you are. They are not the same thing. Someone doesn't like your video. That's feedback about the video, not a verdict on your worth as a human being. Someone disagrees with your opinion. That's a difference in perspective, not proof that you're wrong to exist. When you start treating opinions as data instead of judgment, they lose their power over you. You can take what's useful and leave the rest without falling apart. Step 4. Build your own scorecard. Most people measure themselves using someone else's ruler, their parents' expectations, their friends' lifestyles, some stranger on social media with a highlight reel. And because it's someone else's ruler, you can never actually win. Here's the fix. Write down 3 to 5 values that actually matter to you. Not what should matter, what genuinely does. Kindness, creativity, courage, growth, whatever yours are. Now use those as your scorecard. Before you make a decision, before you post something, Before you shrink in a room, ask yourself one question. Am I acting in line with my own values? If yes, you don't need anyone else's approval. You already have it. This isn't about becoming selfish or shutting people out. It's about having an internal anchor so strong that external opinions stop feeling like emergencies.
Step 5. Take small public risks daily. Your brain only unlearns fear through experience. You can think your way toward confidence all you want, but the rewiring only happens when you act despite the discomfort. Not in one massive leap, in small, daily risks. Share an opinion in a conversation. Post the thing you've been holding back. Wear what you actually want to wear. Say no when you mean no. Start before you feel ready. Each time you do something your fear told you not to, and the world doesn't end, your amygdala gets a new piece of data, a small update. Over time, those updates stack. The alarm gets quieter, the grip loosens, and one day you'll catch yourself acting freely without even realizing you used to be afraid. Now, here's the insight that ties all of this together. The real reason you care so much what people think isn't because you're insecure. It's because you care deeply about connection, about belonging, about being seen. That's not something to fix. That's something to honor. The goal isn't to stop caring about people. It's to stop letting the imagined version of what they think control the real version of who you are. You're not performing for an audience. You never were. The only person who has watched every single moment of your life, every choice, every fear, every quiet act of courage is you. And that person deserves to live freely. So let me ask you this. Which one of these steps will you try first? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this video helped you, share it with someone who's been living a little too quietly because of what others might think. They need to hear this. Because the most interesting version of you, it only shows up when you stop editing yourself for a crowd that wasn't really watching anyway.